Hey everybody, so I made a video recently called How to Find Your Values, and I promised you a part 2, and a lot of you wrote to me saying you had made your list of 10 values and how would you prioritize them. So let me just refer back to the first video in case you haven't seen it. Your values are words that access an emotional state, right? And the way you find your values are to ask yourself this question: what has been most important to me in my life? And what you're looking for is the feeling, the emotion, rather than the means by which you experience it. So for example, for me, relationships have been very important to me. However, relationships are the means by which I experience love. So do you see, you're looking for the feeling. So I might say, well, money has been really important to me, but money isn't the feeling. Money is the means by which I experience safety and security. So you're going to make a list of 10 of the most important values to you, and then you have to prioritize them. The reason you have to prioritize them is because sometimes we can carry values over from years ago that aren't necessarily relevant to how we wish to live our lives today. For instance, for me, if I still had thrills and adventure at the top of my list, and I have spent most of my time as a single parent looking after my kids, then it's going to be hard for me to meet that value on a regular basis. Perhaps having health and security, or vitality and security, would be more beneficial for me and how I live my life today, if that makes sense. Now, when you've got your list of 10, you want to look at the first 2. So for me, say it is love and security. And I would say, well, what's most important to me, love or security? And I would say, well, love is. And then I would look at the first word, which is love, and the third one, for example, which might be thrills. And I would say, well, what's most important to me, love or thrills? And I would say love. And I'd put a star by each one that is most important to me. And you go all the way down your list, comparing each of your values with each other until you have the ones that are most important to you. I hope that makes sense. And if this sounds too complicated, then you can just look down them and see which ones stand out most to you, so you can prioritize them. So for me, love still remains at the very top of my list. Now, once you have all your 10 lists of prioritized values, the top being the most significant, the bottom being the least significant, then you want to look for ways that you can experience those feelings. And really you want to look at 3 ways perhaps you can experience them that are accessible, so you can experience them every day. And this helps you feel more balanced and connected in your life. Now, where this can really help you is supposing love is really important to me and my family are the means by which I experience love. And I am working 50 hours a week and I'm going to take a job promotion that is going to mean I'm going to have to work another 10 hours a week. Maybe I need to reconsider if my values are love and spending time with my family, taking that promotion, because it's going to cause an internal conflict potentially, because it's going to take me away from what is truly meaningful to me at my core. Does that make sense? I hope this is making sense. We also need to look for the rules we have around how we experience the different feelings we have written down in the list. So for me, for example, if love is at the top of my list, I have to look at what are the rules for me in how I experience love. What has to happen for me to experience love? What has to happen for me to feel a sense of safety and security? And examine some of those as well, because sometimes if we have too rigid a rule around the emotion we want to experience, it can prevent us from actually achieving that. This could go on for hours, couldn't it, this subject? Maybe there should be a whole workshop around that. But I hope that gives you a bit of an insight and helps you learn to prioritize and look at the rules you have around your values, and also really what could potentially be the ones that are most helpful for you to focus on today. Anyway, be back soon with more tips and tricks.